The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Palace Intrigue remains on a modified schedule with morning episodes and the latest news and gossip, and afternoon episodes with details about the coronation. People watching the coronation will be invited to join a chorus of millions to swear allegiance to the king and his heirs, organisers say. The BBC reports the public pledge is one of the several striking changes to the ancient ceremony revealed on Saturday. This homage of the people replaces the traditional homage of peers, where hereditary peers swear allegiance to the new monarch. Instead, everyone in the Abbey and watching at home will be invited to pay homage in what Lambeth Place described as a chorus of millions. The order of service will read, "All who so desire in the Abbey and elsewhere say together, I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to law, so help me God." It will be followed by the playing of a fanfare. The Archbishop of Canterbury will then proclaim God Save the King, with all asked to respond, God Save King Charles. Long live King Charles, may the King live forever. A spokesman for Lambeth Place, the Archbishop's office, said, "The homage of the people is particularly exciting because that's brand new. That's something that we can share in because of technological advances, so not just the people in the Abbey, but people who are online, on television, who are listening and who are gathered in parks at big screens and churches. Our hope is at that point, when the Archbishop invites people to join in, that people, wherever they are, if they're watching at home on their own, watching the telly, will say it out loud, the sense of a great cry around the nation and around the world of support for the King." William is expected to take part in a section known as the Homage of Royal Blood, in which he too will swear his loyalty to the King. The script reads, "I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you and faith and truth I will bear unto you as your liege man of life and limb, so help me God." This week appears that it will be a mix of stories fawning over the monarchy and some stirring up trouble. The latter appears in the Mirror under the headline, "Camilla took private jets to join Charles on secret foreign meetups during their affair." In a new documentary, My King Charles, airing on Amazon this weekend, squadron leader Graham Laurie, the King's former personal pilot, said Charles and Camilla were getting together overseas, but the press didn't cotton on. As regards Camilla, I didn't even fly her, but we did see her involvement in certain trips when we went abroad. There would be a civilian charter aircraft on the tarmac before we got there, and it was still there when we left. I found out afterwards that actually Camilla had flown in and out on that aircraft. Some in our close circles have asked, what will you guys talk about after the coronation? We aren't the least bit worried about that, thanks Meghan, but Prince William appears that he will help the cause. Wills will appear in a new fly-on-the-wall documentary for ITV as he travels the country on his new homelessness project. A source tells The Sun he knows all too well how important it is that the monarchy develops a more modern relationship with the British people. That TV special with Meghan Markle's family didn't go over so well. Thomas Markle Sr., Samantha and Thomas Jr. spoke with Australia's 7 News Spotlight. Samantha said of Meghan and Harry, "They are really unhealthy for each other. It's a toxic relationship." Thomas Sr. said, "I wish that we could sit down and talk. I wish we could work out our differences." He said, "She loved me. I'm her hero, and suddenly I was thrown out." Reporter Liam Bartlett asked the Markles, "Because you guys are family, you're so much alike," the reporter posed, "and Meghan really is just the carbon copy. What do you say to that proposition? I mean, in the sense that you're really as bad as each other." "When I throw the ball, you throw one back," Thomas Sr. replied. Mr. Bartlett continued, "I mean, she has made money at selling her story, and you have made money sometimes selling your story." Interrupting, Thomas Sr. retorted, "No offence, but she can afford a much bigger ball." Palace Intrigue will be right back. Hey, I'd like to tell you about a new sponsor of ours just in time for the coronation, and that's ExpressVPN. Now, ExpressVPN is an app you use when you're online that creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so hackers can't steal your data. It's something you should always be using when you go online in public places like cafes, hotels, airports, basically anywhere that's not your network. But there's something else that's really cool about using a VPN. Have you ever tried to watch TV from a foreign country and it says, "Sorry, this content is only available to users within that country"? Well, a VPN can give you access to almost every country in the world as if you were there. That means you can watch sporting events from around the world, local TV from another country, and here's the big thing, access to UK TV for the coronation. It's almost as good as being there. So all you do is fire up the app, go to your website of choice, and it's all there easy and quickly. ExpressVPN works on laptops, mobiles, any device. Secure your online data today and watch TV from around the world with ExpressVPN. Now go to expressvpn.com/palace and get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/palace, expressvpn.com/palace.
I'm Nina Hobson, ex-police detective from the UK. I've worked on every crime mentionable, from murder to kidnap to stalking to fraud. When I left the force, I launched my own investigations firm that soon became a global operation. I'm also a single mother of 2 to 2 members of my team, my son Harrison and daughter Amy. Every week, we'll be getting first-hand accounts from psychological experts, operatives, former criminals, actual victims of the crimes that we investigate, and of course, my very own flesh and blood. From Storic Media, you're listening to Codename Siren, a true crime podcast. Available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms.
Royal fans are mad at Ticketmaster after some British residents said they received misleading emails suggesting they had secured free tickets to the concert for the coronation of King Charles III at Windsor Castle. The New York Times reports Ticketmaster was tasked with issuing 10,000 free tickets to the concert being held on May 7th. Last week, Ticketmaster sent Joe Holmes and many others in Britain an email. "Congratulations, you have been successful in the ballot for 2 tickets to King Charles' coronation concert." Mr. Holmes, a student in his final year at the University of Essex, saw it immediately while checking his email and rushed to click the link to claim his tickets to the concert, an official coronation event that will take place a day after King Charles III is crowned, only to be met with a message saying that none were available. Ticketmaster said in an emailed statement on Friday that people who had been selected in earlier rounds of balloting had 3 weeks to claim their tickets to the coronation concert. On Tuesday, after that time had expired, unclaimed tickets were released on a first-come, first-served basis to those who had previously applied and were unsuccessful, the company said. These inevitably went very quickly. The King has gifted Angela Kelly, the Queen's dresser and close confidant, a new home in Yorkshire. The Mail reports that it is thought that the King has bought the property, which will revert to the Crown on her death. A source told the Mail, "Angela wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but nevertheless the King had no wish to see her homeless. I get the impression the King just didn't want to be living next door to her." Another source added, "The narrative that the King is heartless has all been very wide of the mark. His Majesty has never wanted to see anybody homeless, particularly someone who has been so loyal." On Instagram, Kelly said, "I am too old to worry about who likes me and who dislikes me. I have more important things to do. If you love me, I love you. If you support me, I support you. If you hate me, I don't care." Coronation chicken is back in the news. The Mirror reminds us coronation chicken was created for the celebratory lunch that followed the crowning of Queen Elizabeth, but the dish had links to fancy French dining. The dish was invented by Rosemary Hume, who had studied at Le Cordon Bleu Cookery School in Paris. The dish was originally made with young roasting chickens, water, and a little bit of wine to cover carrot and bouquet garni, salt, peppercorns, and a cream of curry sauce, according to the Cordon Bleu website. And it proved a huge hit with guests on the day. But rather than being served in sandwiches, as is traditional these days, that first outing saw the dish served alongside a salad of rice, pimentos, and green peas. King Charles' signature coronation dish has been unveiled as Coronation Quiche. It contains spinach, broad beans, tarragon, amongst other ingredients. The royal website describes it as a deep quiche with a crisp, light pastry case and delicate flavors of spinach, broad beans, and fresh tarragon. An insider confirms Harry will be in and out this weekend. Harry will be in and out of the UK in 24 hours. He will only be doing the coronation service, then leaving. The Sun points out the 11 a.m. ceremony ends at 1 p.m., so Harry could be in the air by 2 to 3. He would spend 10 hours travelling 5,000 miles and land by early evening local time. It is believed he will arrive on Friday. We'll be back in the afternoon with a bonus coronation episode focused on this weekend's concert. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, your favorite app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.
I'm Johnny Mac, host of Daily Comedy News. Do you like the little Letterman homage there on the music bed? Yeah, start your mornings with a quick 10-minute recap of late night, not Dave, all late night, and the latest on Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, John Mulaney, Tig Notaro, Eliza Schlesinger, Amy Schumer, Joe Rogan, Mark Maron, all your favorite comedians. It's Daily Comedy News. It's an easy way to start your morning, and I promise I'll keep it clean. Daily Comedy News, wherever you get your shows.